Hello lovely students, welcome back to my YouTube channel Ghalib's English School. In today's video, I'm going to talk about Trinity College London's ISE, Integrated Skills in English B1 exam. What is this exam and who is this for? Before I start, I would like you to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon down below for all the updates. So let's straight jump into that. Here we go guys. So let's have a look at the pattern of B1 ISE Test of English. So what is this Trinity College ISE B1 Test of English and who is it for? ISE stands for Integrated Skills in English, and B1 is a level that is the requirement for so many different visa applications. Let's find out about this one. It's a 2 hours exam. 1 hour is for reading and the second hour is for writing. You can take this test at an approved Trinity CELT center. You can book your test wherever you are, and there are test centers around the country. So who is this test for? Which visa category requires this test to produce to Home Office for your visa application? So this test is used to evidence your English language proficiency level. If you are applying for skilled worker visa. So guys, there are different visa categories. If you are on a spouse visa and you want to apply for indefinite leave to remain, you're going to be doing B1 GSE Trinity College test, which is only speaking and listening module. But if you apply for skilled worker visa, then you're going to be doing ISE B1 reading, writing, listening and speaking test. So this one is about skilled worker visa. Let's find out about the pattern of exam. On the test day, you must arrive on time. So make sure you get there on time. You should take your ID, and once you take your ID with you and all the required paperwork, they will do your registration and you will be taken to an exam room. It's a 2 hour exam and it's paper based. You will be given all the paperwork in the exam room. You will be given pens, highlighters, whatever you want to do. With your reading task, writing task, you will have all the resources available. Now we talk about this exam and how does it work. It's a 2 hours exam and it has 4 tasks. Let's talk about different tasks individually. Task 1 is a long reading task. Task 2 is a multitext reading task. Task 3 is reading into writing task, and task 4 is extended writing task. Now I'm going to go through all of them one by one and will explain to you and show you the sample question that how you're going to attempt this question paper. Let's have a look. So in task 1, you will do a long reading. How long is that reading and how many questions are there? Let's find out. So what type of topics they cover in this long reading task? The major topics which are repeated from these exam papers, they are travel, money, transport, music, health, and fashion. So your topic can be one of them or similar to these topics. You will read a single text and answer about 15 questions. So what type of questions are there? So guys, remember, when we attempt reading task, whether it's Trinity College, whether it's IELTS, whether it's any other language related exam, for example, Oxford English, for reading, we have 2 tips. The first tip is skimming and the second one is scanning. You need to understand these 2 skills. So in skimming, we just read the text, overall find out what's that about. But if we have to read it in detail and find out all the important information in there, then we have to scan it. So when I say scan it, you need to annotate that, you need to highlight that, you need to underline. So go through questions, come back to the text again and quickly go through that and try to find out the answers. So what type of questions are there in this reading task 1? Let's have a look. So in the first section of the question, or the first category of the question, you have to find the best title for each paragraph. So how are you going to do that? You will be given certain titles for all the paragraphs, go through them, come back to the text, read it, and then try to figure it out. In the next category of the question, you will be choosing 5 true statements. So you will be given around 8 statements. 5 of them are true based on the text, and 3 are just there to kind of confuse you. But what you need to do, you need to go back to the text, read it, and try to find out which 5 are the correct options. The next category of the question is you have to complete a summary. And in them sentences, you have to put the exact number, word, or phrase from the text. It's quite simple. When you go through that, come back to the text and you can easily figure it out that which word, which number, or which phrase fits in there. So make sure, construct your sentence in a way that it should make a sense. Here is an example of the questions. Let's talk about part number 2. Part 2 is multi-text reading task. So when I say multi-text reading task, it means there is more than one text you have to read. So how many texts are there? There are about 4 texts, and they call them text A, B, C, and D. So what type of topics they are covered there? Usually we have the topics based on fashion, festivals, special occasions, personal experiences. You will read 4 texts, A, B, C, and D. 4 different texts, and you have to answer 15 questions. So again, in this task, what type of questions are there? Let's have a look. So you have to choose correct letters for the statement from the text. And number 2 type of question, you have to choose 5 true statements. Again, same like the first task. And then you have to complete summary or sentences, same like the first part. And you have to make sure exact number, word, or phrase from the text. Here's an example. Have a look. Let's find out what's in task number 3. Task number 3 is reading into writing. Why they call it reading into writing? Because this writing task is based on your previous task, which was reading 4 texts A, B, C, and D. So you will produce a piece of writing, which is lengthwise or word count that should be around 100 to 130 words, based on the 4 selected topics in task number 2. So in the previous task, you read 4 texts, text A, B, C, and D. So this part gonna be based on that. So what type of questions are there? There may be an essay writing question, article writing, letter writing, email writing, and here is an example. So guys, remember, it's an academic exam, so most of the time they give you the writing task which is based on essay or article. So you need to be careful while attempting this part because you have to use formal English or academic English. And I'm going to tell you that how can you improve that. Now we're going to go to part number 4. This is the final part of this question paper and is called extended writing. You will produce a piece of writing which is word count is the same, 100 to 130 words. But what type of topics are covered? In this part of the test, usually they talk about rules and regulations, health and fitness, entertainment, or travel. And what type of questions are there? I mean, what type of writings are there? You are required to write an essay, an article, letter writing, an email, or sometimes they ask you to write a review. Here's an example. So like I said before, and I mentioned to you in the previous tasks, that you have to be careful about your writing. You have to use formal expression. Make sure that you complete all the tasks and you pass this test for your visa requirement. So how do we do a writing? The first thing which is really important for writing task, that is planning. You will be given some space on your paper where you have to make a plan for your writing. So here you can see on the right hand side of the screen that there is a kind of spider diagram where you can write your title of the topic and then 5 important points from your title, from your question. That what you're going to be writing in first paragraph, which is introduction, what you're going to be writing in the second, third, fourth, and finally what's going to be your conclusion. We write introduction, then we have the main body of the text and different paragraphs, and finally conclusion. So make sure that you write completely. It should be a very coherent text where you should produce your idea and develop that into a paragraph in a logical way. So make sure you use formal language, variety of vocabulary, and that is really important. What other points we need to consider when we answer this question? Let's have a look. So while writing your answer, you need to be careful about SPAG. What does SPAG stand for? So S for spelling, P for punctuation, A for and G for grammar. So what does that mean? When you answer your question, you need to be careful about your spellings, about your vocabulary, about punctuation. Punctuation means capital letters at the start of the sentence, proper nouns, commas, full stop, question mark, exclamation, and quotation marks, colons, semicolons, apostrophes. You need to use them correctly. And in grammar, we look at the subject-verb agreement, that your sentences should be structured in a way that your subject should be according to your verb, and they should convey the proper message. So, the use of discourse markers, which is really important, whether you are answering task 3 or task 4. What are discourse markers? Discourse markers are your linking words. So here is a list of discourse markers. So why do we need these discourse markers? Guys, you need to produce a piece of writing which should be developed in a logical way. All your ideas should flow in a logical order. So these are the words which can connect your sentences and then your paragraphs together. So some of them are used to add more information, some of them are used to show similarities, some of them are used to show contrast, comparison, some are used to show some examples, and some of them are used to show that how you're going to write your conclusion, or sequence wise when you start with the list first, second, third, and so on. So I would strongly recommend you watch my shorts, and they are with examples and you can easily understand them. The final bit, which is really important, that is proofreading. Proofread means you have to go through your text, whatever you have produced, your written work, and check for spelling mistakes, check for grammar mistakes, and check for punctuation mistakes. Always proofread your written work before you submit it to examiner or to your teacher. Good luck, guys. So guys, this was all about Trinity College London's ISE Integrated Skills in English B1 exam. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comment section below and I would love to get back to you. Look after yourself and this channel. Thanks for watching.